Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Naomi, and today's video is going to be about how I literally found out that I am no longer an orphan. Yeah, that's a big one, I know. It's still pretty fresh, so if I'm a little hazy, if I talk too fast, it's because I'm so nervous, and this part of my story is so dear to me, so I just hope and pray that you guys bear with me. Yeah, if you want to hear more about the story, click subscribe and comment below how this made you feel. Let's continue. So, as a very young girl, I've always believed that I was different. We're told that the parents that I have now were my blood parents. But let me just give you some background information. So when I was little, about 5 years old, I came in here in America with my parents. So I thought they were my parents. As I got older, I realized that they were my parents. They were just people who brought me here into the US, who did their best to take care of me and to love me and nurture me. And that didn't work out. They were actually abusive and neglectful, and which led me to go to foster care. So I thought for so long that those were my parents. Like, I thought for a very long time that I just had terrible parents who just weren't the most loving parents. They're just really terrible. Not even true at all. We're good now, we're okay now, and I'm not no longer, you know, holding on to anything. It's the past, I moved on, and this is just a story of how I'm here now and what happened up to this point. So yeah, so they were the best. I got into foster care at a very young age, about probably like 13 years old, and for a long time I just needed parents, you know. I needed mom and dad, and that's when God was like just revealing himself to me and who I am and who he is in me. And for a long time I just accepted the fact that I am just parentless. Just have to just be this girl who just didn't have parents. And it wasn't until I just let God be my dad. You know, I just said, you know what, okay, God is enough. God is more than okay, and he is more than enough for me, and he will work through me to accept the fact that this is just my life. This is just the truth. So I thought. My relationship with Christ deepened, and it became more you know, intimate, and I became more reliant on Christ, and I just started to just be able to know who I am in him. So therefore I, you know, said, you know what, it's okay, I'm good, I can be okay. I don't need my parents. God has been just so amazing. He's just been so miraculous in my life, and I just can't seem to wrap my mind around that. So yeah, so back to what I was saying. I have this really big hole of this emptiness. I thought that I would be just not loved, you know, and God came at the right time. I was scarred. Oh my goodness, I was so broken. I was so empty. I felt so useless, and I finally just said, okay, you know what, fine, whatever. And it wasn't until I finally accepted that I was an orphan, because I was basically an orphan. I knew my parents were adoptive. I knew that they didn't really, you know, have any like blood relations to me. So I was just kind of like, you know, only one, the black sheep in the family. I was just different, you know. So I knew that much, that I didn't have biological parents. And so for so long I said, you know what, my mom's dead. My mom is actually dead, and my dad is also dead too. And so this year God has done the miraculous thing of literally finding my dad. And it's so weird to say, because like I've for so long thought that I would go my whole life just accepting this reality that I may not be able to have parents, and I have to just, you know, accept it. This is my story. This is who I am. I'm a girl who has just a heavenly father, and that's enough for me. And which is a beautiful thing. It took me so long to get to that point. It took me so many years to get to say, okay, God, it's you. I'm okay with this. And God is just so good. When you start to just trust in him and let him just love you and let him pour into you and let him be enough for you, he starts to do things that are just so unordinary. He just starts working in your life in ways that you would never think was possible. And so I thought that I had no siblings either. And then one day I just said, you know what? I'm gonna go ask my parents, my adopted parents, about my life, about who my mom was, my dad, and just to know something to hold on to, you know, something to have in my hands, in my heart, that I have something of my parents, at least information or something, you know. So I went to them and asked them and said, you know what, who was my mom, and how was she like, how was my dad like? And they told me that, oh, your mom was, you know, she was a great person, she was kind, she was loving. But your dad, though, I think your dad, you know, also passed away too, and he's no longer in the picture either, and so you were left with being an orphan. But you have a sister who is somewhere in Africa who, you know, just, we don't know how to connect with her, we don't know where she's at or who she is. So I was like, okay, I have hope. I have a sister somewhere I can find, I can connect with. And that was enough for me. That little seed that they planted in me, that little information that I had got, was just enough to get me going. I'm a very much FBI. I search, I look, I will find the ends of the earth for some information if I have to. So that's what I did. I went looking, asking for people, aunts and uncles, how I can get this information, how I can get my sister somewhere, how I can find her and talk to her, and just, you know, find something of my biological being, you know. I just was so tired of being just having aunts who weren't my aunts, actually, my uncle who weren't my actual uncle. I was tired of having non-biological parents. It was just exhausting. So I didn't find anything. I looked and I prayed and I wasn't sure if God heard me. I wasn't sure if this is like too much to ask or too big of a question to ask God. I was like, God, who is my sister? Can I find her? Where is she at? Is she even like in Africa? Is she even here? Who is she? How can I get to her? And it became too much, so I just said, you know what, forget it. I'll just come back to it. I'll just find a different way. I was busy and I just couldn't sit on it for too long, you know. I didn't have any faith, to be honest. I didn't think that it was possible to find her. I thought it was too much, you know. And so little did I know God was working. You know, this is what I'm talking about. When you think that you are done and you just have no way else to find things, and you're just, you know, relaxing and just, you know, you're praying and you just think that God is just hearing you out but not really hearing you, that's when he does his best work, honey. He was working. God was working in my life. He was searching. He didn't have to search. He's God. He already knows the answer. So I didn't know that at all. I had no clue what he was doing. I had no idea what he was even planning. And so whatever, right? Life goes on. I'm now engaged. My fiance proposed to me as of November 13th, 2021, last year. And so I was happy. Life started, you know, moving around, and I got engaged and I was just on top of the world. I was just so excited. I was happy. You could not tell me anything. So I went on my life. I forgot about my sister. I didn't even think about looking for her anymore. And so yeah, so my adopted parents, my adopted mom went to Africa for a few days, I think for a month, to see family members and see her, you know, her actual family, because nobody's really here that's from Africa that she knows that's, you know, here in the US. So she goes there and visits them sometimes. And so while she's there, something happened where she gave my sister's number to she gave my number to my sister. So I'm thinking, like, what? And I'm just at home minding my own business on my phone, you know, just chilling out. Guys, I get a call from my sister. I get a call from my sister, my birth sister that I've been looking for so many days and weeks. I had no lead to anything. I had no last name, no first name, but yet God found my sister. And he said, you know what? I got you, baby. I got you, baby girl. I've got you. I just can't. I'm like getting goosebumps right now because I'm like, God is just so good, you know. I was trying to work and find, and God already knew the answer. Anyway, she you know, calls me, and I'm just like, hello, like, who is this, right? And she's like, you know, she has this thick accent because she's an African. I'm like, no, I'm American, so, well, I'm Americanized. I'm African, but I'm Americanized. And she has this thick accent. I'm just like, hello? And I have to use my, you know, my little accent a little bit to kind of, you know. And she's like, hi, you know, is this, you know, Sana? I was known as Sana. My sister known me as Sana as a little girl. So I'm like, hi, who is this? She was like, this is, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, who? And she's like, yeah, this is Grace. I'm like, who's that? And she's like, I'm your sister. I've been looking for you for so long. I finally got your number, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. Hold up. What? You're my who? And the world just starts spinning. I'm just like, hold on. And then I just started getting excited, like, no freaking way. No way. There's absolutely no way my sister and I are talking on the phone right now. And I'm just sitting here like, what? So we keep talking, we connect, you know, we laugh. He tells me about my mom, and I ask her questions about who she is, and like, and she tells me that she's been looking for me for my whole life, and she's been looking for me since she was like a girl, like a little girl, like probably like a teenager or something. And I'm like, no way. No way. And then she tells me something big. My dad is alive. My dad's alive, guys. For so long, I lived this identity that I had no parents, that I would have no way to connect with people I love, people who were mine. And I was told that he was dead, that my mom was dead, my dad was dead, and I had nobody else. And that was all I had, my adopted parents who brought me here to the US. And she's like, yeah, he's in Monrovia, he's here, you know, he wants to talk to you, he wants to know you, he's been looking for you your whole life, he's been looking for you for years. And I'm just like, what? Like, you know, in disbelief. And I'm like, what? So not only have my sister, I have my dad, and I'm just sitting here like, God, you're so good. Like, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to figure out his number. And she said she's gonna give him his number and call me back. So, you know, we talked for a few weeks, you know, and I finally talked to my dad. I get his number and I dial the number. He talks to me, and I, guys, when I tell you, all I did was cry on that phone. All I could do was cry. I couldn't even have words out. He tells me he loves me, he's been looking for me forever, and that he misses me so much, and he wants to talk to me, wants to know me. And I'm just like, no way. Like, I have a father who loves me in heaven, a father who loves me on earth, who I didn't even know existed at all. So I'm just like, wow, okay, this is it. This is my life now. And I was happy, of course. I was happy, I was ecstatic, I was at joy, but I was so shocked that you don't know what to do. And here I am, just like, wow. He tells me that my mom was great in who she was, and we talked more and I get to know him, and he was so sweet, guys. He was so sweet. He was not who I imagined him to be, because I didn't even know he existed, but he was so kind and he told me he loved me. And for so long I've been wanting to hear those words from parents, from my mom and dad, that I love you, that you're my child, and I've been looking for you for so long. And I just, man, I could not hold back my tears. Like, I'm just, oh guys, man. So guys, that's my story. And after that, I was just praying to God. I was just on my knees. I was just like thanking him, like, God, thank you so much. I love you so much. Like, I could not hold back my excitement, because I was on top of the world. I was on top of the earth, and I just couldn't stop. You know, I was so excited. And I thought that was my story. I thought that was it. I just had adopted parents who did their best in my life and didn't do so well, and it's okay. You know, I got over it. God, you know, healed me and, you know, cleansed me and purified my spirit, and I'm good now. And, you know, but guys, God was not done. Where I thought there was a period, God added a comma. He added a comma. Say it again. Where there was a period, God added a comma. He said, and your story is not over. There is more. Oh, I never understood that one saying, the truth will set you free. Until this point, I had no idea what that meant until now, today. And it has, guys. I am so free. All the things I've been asking God for so long up to this point has all made sense. All the doubt, all the emptiness, all the sadness, all the neglectfulness, all the tears, and he made me new again, guys. He first had me love him first. That's the best part. He told me to love him first, and to seek him first, to find him, to find his love, because his love is more than any kind of father's love, any mother's love, any parent's love. And I first found that love first, and then he gave me my dad. I now have parents. I mean, my mom is still not here, but that's enough for me. A dad. Anyways, guys, that was a lot. I'm sorry, that was a lot to tell you guys. I know it was a little confusing, but right now I'm currently, you know, getting to know my dad and getting to know my, you know, my sister, and it's so surreal. It's so crazy, guys, but God is so good. And yeah, I am now no longer an orphan. I have a father. I have two dads, one's heavenly, one's earthly, and I am blessed. I am blessed beyond measure. I am so thankful. I am just lost for words. Thank you guys so much for hearing my story, and like this video, and thank you so much for hearing me out. Bye, guys.